What is up, guys? Welcome back to Shannon Bradford Outdoors. Today we're going to show you how to make these PVC pipe bows. They're super easy, super cheap to make. I've killed a ton of carp with them. So yeah, we're going to be using Schedule 40 3/4 inch PVC. Half inch will get you about 30 pounds of draw weight. 3/4 inch is about 40 pounds of draw weight. And then 1 inch is like 50 pounds of chew. That's way too much. I find that 3/4 inch Schedule 40 is perfect. So 40 pounds is pretty good for these bows. So let's get right into it. There we go. Got him. Ooh, got him. Alrighty guys, let's go over exactly what you're gonna need. So of course you're gonna need some PVC. You're gonna need a drum style reel here. These were sent to me by RPM BOWFISHing, so great solid reel for this. You're gonna need like a measuring tape, just to measure where you're gonna bend, make the bends in your bow, the marker to match or to mark those marks. A saw just to cut the length. You'll also need the saw to cut a piece of PVC in half, just like this. I'll show you why. So you're not going to screw a hole into the bow itself because that would weaken it. The very first one I made, I did that and it failed after a few shots. But you're going to drill a hole in this and attach the reel to this piece, and then epoxy and tape it down to the front of the handle. So you can see a little bump there. That's where that PVC is. Same on this one. But that keeps the bow nice and strong and holds the reel really sturdy onto the bow. You're going to need a chainsaw round file for cutting the grooves, the string, or the grooves in the bow for the string. I mentioned earlier epoxy. Oh yeah, and then to heat up your PVC and actually bend it like this, these bends, you can use just like a kitchen stove there, or a heat gun. I would say like 80% of the bows I've ever made were just over the stove. The heat gun does make it easy just to focus that heat in one spot, but definitely not needed. But yeah, let's get to the measurements real fast. Okay guys, we are going to be making the long bow here today. It is a lot easier, it only requires 3 bends. And then it also has a longer working limb compared to the horse bow. So I think it has higher velocity, a little smoother. If you are wanting to make the horse bow though, the measurements of course are right here. So you're going to mark center on either bow. So for longbow, it's going to be 30 inches, mark your center, and your handle is going to be 4 inches total. So just mark 2 inches up, 2 inches down from the center, and then mark 1 inch from the handle. Those 1 inch marks are going to tell you where to bend, where to start the bend. And then from each edge, you're going to mark, measure down 6 inches and put a mark there. That's where the recurve is going to start happening right there. So we'll heat the PVC pipe up there and start those bends. If you are wanting to make or try to make the Korean horse bow, there's the measurements of course, but I'll also show you here. So you're going to bend in the middle of the handle as well. See how your handle is kind of a U shape right here. So you are going to bend the middle of the handle there. And then on mine, I actually flattened the ends out. So you're going to place a cutting board on this side of it and a cutting board on this side of it and squeeze it together. And that's how you make that. It is a lot harder to make, but it does look really, really cool when you're shooting it. So that's up to you. But there are the measurements. Now let's get to actually bending it. Alright, we got our measurements here. We're just going to get the heat gun, or again, if you don't have a heat gun, you can just use the stove. But we're going to heat up this area on the 1 inch mark. We're going to bend the bow back just a little bit here. Alright, it's getting a little bendy on me here, so almost there. Okay. So we just want to bend just a little bit, just to give the bow its shape. It helps doing this on like a hardwood floor or tile. That way it just keeps everything nice and straight. And then just to speed up the cooling process, we have a little wet rag here, and I got a bowl of cold water there. Okay, let's work on the tips now. So that's where that mark there, 6-inch mark, is where you're going to start your bend. So you just want to keep the area above it. And just continually rotate it so you don't get any burn marks or anything like that. You don't want to burn the PVC. Okay. Put it back on the ground so we make sure it's straight. I'm just going to bend it up just a little bit, not much. And get our wet rag here, cold rag. Just cool everything off. Let it set. Get underneath it here. Okay. Everything's laying flat, so that's good. Now we're going to do the other side now. Okay, so there's the general shape of our bow right now. Sweet. Okay, one more thing we're going to do is, you can see on the bow I've already made, I flattened the end here just to make it a little easier for the string to notch in, and looks a little better as well. So we're going to do that real fast. So we'll just heat the ends up and squeeze it in on the side that faces you. So do that real fast. Squeeze it down here, make sure everything's straight as well. You don't have to do this, so if you wanted to skip this step, you totally can. Definitely not necessary. Okay, just like that. Let's get our grooves cut in here. We can string it up, see how it looks, and then make any adjustments from there. You could also use a Dremel tool if you don't want to use a file. A Dremel tool is a little faster, but we'll do it like this today. Okay, once we break through there, we kind of want to work our way down and start angling down. Just kind of imagine where you think the string would lay. Smooth it all out. It's not cutting our line. Okay, we got one done there. Looking good. Well, we might have to go a little deeper, but we'll see. Let's do the other side now. Okay, we just tied an overhand knot in this paracord. Just taking a look at it. Looks pretty good. And we'll measure it out here. Okay, and then we want a brace height of like 5 to 6 inches. So right now we're at like 5 1/4. So on me, Just that line on my thumb is 5 inches, and then my full thumb is 6 inches. So we could tighten this up a little bit more. So we'll just move this knot down a little bit. Okay, there's a brace height of 6 inches, so right where we want to be. Next, we just want to look at it, see what changes we want to make. This band looks like it's not as big of an angle as this one, maybe. Yeah, so we could probably heat this up right here, bend it just a tiny bit more to make it equal with this bend. So let's do that real fast, try and get these equal, and then we'll put the string back on. Okay, bow looks a lot better now. Right here is perfect. The string's just barely touching right in there. So you don't want a full-on recurve. If you do a full recurve, you have to flatten out this whole limb because the string needs something to rest on, you know. If you do a full-on recurve and the limb's still round, the string will slide to either side. But yeah, that's looking good. Let's start working on the reel now. I'll show you how to do that. Alrighty guys, so this is about a 5-inch piece, so it's just an inch longer than our handle. And then this hole is about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inches up. So we're going to put this nut in here, and we're going to heat up this whole PVC, and just form it around the bow and form it around this nut here. So yeah, I drilled this one. It's a little too close, so I drilled another just up top, but that'll be fine. So let's heat it up, and I'll show you how to form it around the bow. Okay, to heat the whole thing up, I just grabbed some pliers so I can heat the whole thing without grabbing it. Okay, we're good there. Alright, and then I just Scotch taped the nut on there just to make it easier. It's not moving around at all. And we're just forming the PVC around the nut here. It's to the point now where we can get a wet rag, kind of help it out. Okay. Alright, sweet. So there it is. You can see it's formed to the bow and to the nut now. So, yep, fits nice and snug. Boom, just like that. Alrighty guys, that's how it's going to look right there. You can see our marks for our handle. Just right there is our center line. There's that piece we just made. So, I usually like the epoxy just right here to keep that nut and the bolt just like fastened real tight onto there. You don't have to epoxy it to the bow, however. You can just, you know, tape it on. But yeah, that's how she'll look. So let's put some epoxy in here, line everything up, and we'll get it taped onto the bow. Okay, got the epoxy mixed up here. Just gonna get it all up in there real good. Okay, just let it set now, and should be good to go. Okay, the epoxy set enough where I could put it on the bow, and then just strap it down, make sure everything was in line with the bow. I'll have this tape here just to pull it up just a little bit to keep it in line, and then put epoxy around the outside here. So we just gotta wait for everything to dry, and then we'll tape wrap the whole handle down, and we'll be good to go. We can test her out. Alrighty, it's been several hours now, so the epoxy's hardened up really good. So we're just going to take the rest of our electrical tape, get it off here. Alright, then we're just gonna start above the handle here and wrap our way down just to cover it up, make it look good. Also give us a little padding on our hands. Alrighty guys, it is the next day. So we got everything taped up here. Looks really good, really solid. So I'm going to show you how to tie this on. Just going to tie an overhand knot just like that to make a loop. And then on your slide here, and there are different kind of slides, so if you have a different slide than this, you might have to use a different knot. But you're going to just slide that loop through, go around one of the ends, go around the other end, and boom, you're locked on. If you want to get it off, it's just the same thing but the opposite way. So just a little quick way to get it on and off. I'm just going to shoot off my hands today for right now. Y'all can see the bow, how it looks. Yeah, see how it shoots. Nice. Reel works perfectly. And then the reel on your fish, will just hand line it like this. My target's coming apart. But yeah, awesome. She worked really good. Alrighty guys, the bow works really good. Super happy with it. So super easy, fast, cheap to make. So it works really good. But if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up, comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks.